All right, we are now live. Hey players, welcome to another live stream here on my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Josh. Every single week I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. And in this live stream, I'm going to be walking you through 5 things every guy in the friend zone needs to know. If you've ever been in the friend zone in the past, if you're afraid you're going to get put in the friend zone in the future, these are things that you need to go into the process already knowing to prevent yourself from getting hurt, from feeling like you've been used, and to feel like you're wasting your time pursuing someone that may not like you back. Now, before I walk you through those 5 points, I want to give shout outs to all the early birds here in the chat. Those are the people that jump into the live stream as soon as it begins, and you guys are there right from the get-go. So I want to give shout outs to everyone's in here. So if you're jumping in, jump into the chat right now, say hi, and your name should be popping up over here in just a second or so. It usually takes a bit of time, but it'll show up. I'll start reading off names here. Let's see who we got in here. Hamish K is in here. Judah Rondez, good to have you, Judah. Stuart Douglas is in here. Daniel L4 No says, I play console because in my opinion it's a lot easier to use. Yeah, I think I don't know, I'm kind of torn between console and PC. I haven't played console in a long time. Azim the Dream says, it's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. I agree. Won't you be my neighbor, Azim? Yancey Cobian's in here. Alex Burns, Christian Barron, Rage Master. Let's see, did I miss anyone? Ted Didi is in here. Anthony Quentel, Jonathan Stern, Eduardo TV. Good to have you, Eduardo. Nigel Williams is in here. Jake Ashton says hi. How you doing, Jake? Good to have you as well. Stuart Douglas is in here. Goldie Chapman. Good to have you, Goldie. Goldie said, hey, Goldie, what's up? How you guys doing? Guys, I'm super pumped about this live stream. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Caleb Gaming, hey, my dude and dudettes. Good to have you guys in here, too. What I'm excited about for this live stream is that I think these are going to be very, very crucial points when it comes to kind of preventing yourself from falling into the friend zone. Now, I'll give you a bit of backstory before I move into it, but definitely I want to just say I think it's going to be super helpful, and I'm super excited to share it with you guys. Lyndon is in here, too. Let's see, Rage Master. We got a bunch of peeps in here. Guys, so Jalen, good to have you, Jalen. Before I get into the points, though, I do want to say this. If you have a burning question, if there's something that's on your mind, hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. If you have a burning question or there's something on your mind and you just want to get my opinion on it, or you want to just support the channel, you can always use the super chat function over here. All you got to do is click the little $sign down below by where the chat is as you guys are typing. You can donate $1, $2, $5, whatever it is. It'll put your question front and center. I will stop what I'm talking about and I will answer your question. Azim is someone that jumps in. Hamish is someone too. Hamish just gave a $5, £5 super chat. Hamish, thank you for the £5 super chat. Hamish said, Josh, my new Alexa will always remind me when it's your live stream. That's awesome. That's a command you should definitely set up. Oh, it should be popping up there, but yeah, Hamish. Anyone who has an Alexa should set it up so to let them know that I'm doing a live stream and you guys should jump on and be a part of it. So thank you guys again. Thank you, Hamish. That's pretty awesome, though. I got to say, whoa, that is loud. Let me lower this a bit. Yep, that's pretty cool, Hamish, I got to say. Anthony says, I would do super chat, but I dropped a lot of money on Funko Pops recently. Just got some Pops from WandaVision today. Awesome, Anthony. That's cool. So, all right, give us a list, Anthony. What Pops did you get? I'm curious, man. But yeah, like I said, if you guys have burning questions, use the super chat function. I'll stop what I'm talking about. I will answer your questions. So before I get into kind of the 5 things you need to know, I want to just give you a little preface here. Before I give you the preface, I also want to say thank you, Nick, for the $5 super chat. Nick says, what do I do if I use the right method to ask a girl I'm friends with out and she still friend zones me? That's a really, really good point, Nick. That's actually one of the points I'm going to bring up in just a little bit, but let me walk you through here. You feel like you use the right method to ask a girl out, the girl that you're friends with, but she still friend zoned you. Here's the thing. The truth of the matter is that you can't ever 100% predict or guarantee that someone's going to want to go out with you. It's not going to happen. What you can do is put your best foot forward and to try your best by feeling confident in yourself, talking about things that you like, asking that person questions, really building a scenario where they can see that, hey, this is a fun person to talk to. This is a person that I really enjoy. They're fun, they're flirty, and I may want to date them. All you can do is create that setting, and it's up to the other person whether or not they want to participate in it. But Nick, it sucks. It's a sucky feeling to get put in the friend zone when you feel like you've done everything right. I'm going to go a little bit more in depth, but I think that that's going to be the key step that I would recommend for you. The key step to focus on there should be popping up. Why is it stream's going slow at loading things? But the key thing to really, really focus on there is just to recognize that all you can do is put your best foot forward. If you feel like you've done all the right things and you got put in the friend zone, there may still be areas that you can improve and work on. A lot of times we feel like we've done everything right when the truth is, hey, maybe I need to work on my flirting skills more. Maybe I need to work on asking them out sooner rather than later. There's a lot of different things that you can do to kind of improve that. Oh, there it is. A lot of things you can do to improve that, Nick. So I'm going to walk you through some of what they are after this. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Fallen Warrior, don't worry about it if you don't have any money to donate. This is not like I'm going to answer questions throughout the stream too if you don't have money to donate. That's the super chats basically are burning questions that you 100% need an answer on right now, or if you just want to support the channel. That's how I view it. If you have general questions, guys, be active in the chat. If I don't get to answer your question, someone else in the chat hopefully will jump in and share their perspective too. This is an open and engaging community. We're all here to help each other. We're all here to work on being our best selves. So feel free to be super open in the chat and to kind of share what's on your mind. I think that that's what this place is all about. So I want to share a quick story with you guys here. Back when I was in high school, back when I was a teenager, I ended up getting friend zoned a lot. And the reason why I got friend zoned a lot is because I would like someone, I'd like a girl, but I'd be a little bit too scared about, hey, Alan, I think you should actually be in the clear to come back to the Discord. So I would check again, try logging in again. I think it's your second account that was unbanned or so. So I would check it out, Alan. But I would be I'd like someone, but I'd be super nervous about pursuing them in a romantic way. So what I would do is I'd kind of take a sort of sly path with it. Maybe I would kind of just focus on being friends with them, which is normal, right? It's okay to be friends with someone, but I never initiated anything that would lead to a relationship or lead to a date or lead to them even thinking about liking me back. I was shy, I was timid, and that came off of my behavior. And what ended up happening is when I finally worked up the courage after knowing that girl for so long and just being shy and timid, when I finally worked up the courage to tell her that I liked her, to ask her out, in her mind, it was like, I've known you for so long, I don't see you in that way because we've had this history of knowing each other where I view you like this, right? Think about it like this. Imagine if you're a bit of the class clown, right? You make everyone laugh in class, and that's just kind of what you've been doing for months on end. Then you come in one day, you want people to take you seriously. Now, it's possible that some people will take you seriously, but some people are going to be so used to the idea of you being the class clown that it's going to be hard for them to break that mental image of you. And I think the same thing happens when you get friend zoned. If you don't work towards a relationship, work towards a date with the person that you like, and they only know you as a friend and they feel like there's this safety and comfort that you get from being friends with someone, then yeah, it's going to feel like a 180 switch on them when you tell them that you like them. They're going to be like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. I just thought this was a normal platonic friendship. So if you want to avoid that, if you're someone that constantly gets put in the friend zone, here's my advice. Let's pull up the first point here, and that's going to be this, guys. Point number 1 is this. You're not going to win her over by being her best friend. Now, I put best friend in quotations because it's important to be friends with your crush. It's important to talk with them and joke around with them, to know a little bit about their hobbies, to know for them to know a little bit about your hobbies, for you guys to even hang out sometimes. That's just for the sake of hanging out. That's totally fine. It's good to be friends with your crush, but this idea of wanting to be a girl's best friend, hoping that by being her best friend, she's going to turn around one day and go, oh, wow, you know what? All this time you were the perfect guy for me and I just didn't see it. Yeah, that's not how it's going to work. What's going to end up happening is she's going to start to solidify you in her mind as just a friend. So when you try to be romantic, when you try to put that out there, yeah, she's going to not see you in that way at all. So I kind of wrote some notes here. Asking someone out can be scary, and sometimes the slow and steady route might seem more safe and secure. And this is something I think a lot of us kind of fall victim of, where maybe we'll talk to our crush every so often, but it's easier to be safe and secure. It's easier to kind of not rock the boat by asking them out, or not rock the boat by flirting with them. We're afraid that if we do anything that's outside of this normal interaction, then we might potentially lose our chance with them. And I think that's a fear a lot of people have, right? Sorry. I think a real fear a lot of people have is that if they try too much, if they do too much, they're going to push their crush away. So I would recommend, don't be afraid to show them that you're interested in them. Otherwise, they will mentally solidify you as a friend. This has happened to me so many times in the past. Like I said, I was mentioning it before when I was in high school. Exactly, Carter Gordon says this is the Gordo approach. 100%, this is the Gordo approach. In case you guys don't know, Gordo is a character from the Disney TV show Lizzie McGuire. If you guys have Disney Plus, go watch Lizzie McGuire. Highly recommend it. Great show. Gordo was Lizzie's best friend, and all along he had deep feelings for her. And Lizzie would come to him with boy problems. She'd talk about Ethan Kraft and other guys that she liked. She talked to him about her fights with Kate. Anytime she got into an argument with Miranda, anytime she fought with her little brother or her parents, Gordo was the guy that she just kind of vented and shared everything with. And Gordo secretly liked her. Now, the problem with the Lizzie McGuire movie is that it leads you to believe that if you're the best friend, you'll get the girl. But reality doesn't end up working out like that, right? I followed that Gordo approach when I was in high school. And the problem with that is that the problem with following that Gordo approach is that, like the girl doesn't turn around and go, wow, you're such a good friend. Maybe you could be something more. Instead, she just wants to keep you as a friend, because if she's come to trust you and come to know you as a friend, she doesn't want to potentially lose that by dating you, right? A date means that it might not work out, means that you guys might not be as close. So why would she want to risk it? Why wouldn't she just say, let's just be friends? Lizzie McGuire is better than Hannah Montana? That's a tough one. Hannah Montana was a really good show too. Jackson was funny. Billy Ray was funny. I wasn't a big fan of her friends. I forgot the guy's name in Lizzie and Hannah Montana. Both were good shows, in my opinion. But that's the issue I think a lot of people run into there. So I want to do a chat poll because I'm curious, guys. Like I said, if you like that girl, if you're in the friend zone with her, the best thing you could do if you're someone that's in the friend zone is start to show how you feel. People always say, Josh, should I tell my crush that I like her? And I always say, I think the best thing, instead of telling someone how you feel, show them how you feel. The way that you show someone how you feel is by flirting with them, by getting to know them better, by asking them out one-on-one, and by eventually leading that to making a move or asking them to be your girlfriend or whatever it is you choose to do. Hamish, thank you so much for the £2 super chat. Hamish said, hi, Josh. I made a guitar cover video today. Awesome, Hamish. Yeah, I saw the post that you made, man. I'm super pumped and super excited to check it out. I'll watch it definitely after the live streams because I'm super excited, man. I think that it's so cool that you're getting back into making music and posting videos, dude. So keep up the good work, man. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of everything that you do. Okay, let's get that chat poll going here. Let me set it up. The first chat poll is going to be this, guys. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Horrormore says, Josh, I just finished iCarly again, so I could be ready for the reboot. Oh, yeah, I know there's a reboot. I'm super excited for that, too. Okay, here's the chat poll question. I want every single person watching the live stream to jump into the chat and answer. That means you. I know you, even if you're just listening to the live stream, jump into the chat for 2 seconds and answer. Does the idea of asking your crush out make you feel nervous? If you guys want to vote, just type what it says there, the exclamation point, vote, and then a space and yes or no or sometimes. And it'll count your vote on the live stream here. Does the idea of asking your crush out make you nervous? Oh, man. I know for me, it used to make me super nervous. The idea of actually taking that chance and trying and putting myself out there was a scary thing. You never know what the answer is going to be. You never know what the response is going to be. So a lot of times, you're flipping a coin. It could be yes, it could be no, it could be maybe, it could be any number of things. And I think that the way to work through that fear, like I said, it's very easy to get stuck in the fear. Very easy to get stuck in the nature of, I'm just going to play it so slow. I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to rock the boat. But sometimes you have to. If you want to get out of the friend zone, you're going to have to be a little bit bold and put your confidence on display. I'm seeing lots of votes come in here. We're at 80% for yes, guys. Where's my no and sometimes people? If you haven't voted in the poll, jump into the poll and vote here, guys. Does the idea of asking your crush out make you feel nervous? Some people are just flat out yes. Some are sometimes, and some are no. But it seems like majority of you guys might feel a bit nervous when it comes to asking out your crush. And I understand. It's totally normal to feel nervous sometimes because, like I said, there's always that fear of getting rejected or stumbling over your words or just walking away feeling dumb, feeling like, oh my God, I made a stupid mistake. I can't control this, Let's see what some of you guys are saying in the chat. Chelsea says, I'm learning to not care so much that any word they say, I take personally like that, then my whole day is ruined, Yeah, Chelsea, I hear where you're coming from on that. When you like someone and they may say something to you that rubs you the wrong way, it's hard to shake that feeling sometimes. They could just sit with you and gnaw at you and make you feel like, oh my God, that was so dumb of me, or, oh, I shouldn't have done that. So the best thing you can really do is, just like you said, Chelsea, sorry, just like you said, I think to recognize that people may say things, people may share words, they may share opinions, but those opinions should not end up defining you, right? Just because someone thinks something of you or thinks something of you based on something you did, I honestly would say the best thing you do is to recognize that you are in control of your actions going forward. You're in control of how you continue to speak, what you continue to say, and what you continue to do. So Lil Alan says, so I wanted to know if I got unbanned. If you actually noticed my comment, I apologize. I was doing something, Josh. No problem, Alan. Yeah. I think you should be banned from the server now. So come back in, dude, and let's be conscious and mindful of what we say and do and make it a peaceful community, man. Carter Gordon says, my crush keeps looking at me at lunch, but I keep making the same mistake and don't make the approach. I overthink. Carter, I hear where you're coming from on that. Yeah. I think that's a common challenge, right? The idea of overthinking it, right? Like you see your crush walking by and it's like, all right, maybe I should go talk to them. No, actually, I don't know what I'm going to say. Or, you see your crush in class and it's like, no, maybe they're busy or maybe they're talking to friends. And you kind of overthink these situations. The best way to kind of work through that overthinking ultimately is to tell yourself this. Tell yourself, okay, what's one specific thing I want to learn about my crush? One specific question I can ask them, one specific thing I can bring up in conversation, and only focus on that one thing. A lot of times we get overwhelmed with the idea of talking to someone that we want to talk to because we feel like there's this open landscape and we don't know where it's going to go. But if you narrow it down to one specific thing to talk to them about, it becomes easier. It becomes easier to jump into that conversation, ask that specific thing, and then to say, all right, well, cool. It was good chatting with you. We'll talk again soon. Now you've had a conversation with them. Even if it was only a minute or two, you've had a conversation with them. And if you've done it once, you could do it twice. You could do it 3 times. You could do it over and over. I'm going to answer one more question in here. Looking at the chat poll, about 75% of you guys say yes, scared to talk to your crush. Let's pull up the chat again here, but I'll answer one more question before jumping into point number 2 here. Hamish said, I can't believe I'm 23 and still a virgin. Hamish, that's okay. There's a lot of people that are 23 and still virgins. People lose their virginity at different ages all across the board. I think that the fact that we've been in a pandemic for a year at this point has also made it harder for people to get out there and meet people and stuff. So I understand it's a sucky feeling to go through, but you're not alone, Hamish. And, if that's something you want to work through, you're eventually going to. It's just a matter of finding a person you feel comfortable with to share that experience with. Nick says, is it a good idea to flirt with your crush while hanging out with a group of friends? That's a really, really good question, Nick. Should you flirt in front of people? I honestly would say yes to a degree, right? So if you're around your friends and your friends are going to tease you for it, probably not, because sometimes friends can be jerks in the way that they can make you feel uncomfortable or they can do things to try to blow up your spot and make you look dumb. So if your friends are going to make fun of you if you say something flirty to your crush, probably don't do it around them. But most of the time, if you're just kind of in a casual group, maybe you're in a class setting and you're flirting with your crush, all right, what is anyone going to say? What are they going to do? You're just chatting with them. You're trying to get to know your crush better. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that there. Let's answer one more here. Yancey says, hey, Josh, what do I do when a girl asks me why I'm looking at their account and they blocked me because of it? That's a good question, Yancey. If you're looking at a girl's account and she ends up blocking you for it, it's possible that maybe she saw that you were looking at it and you didn't comment or you didn't message her and stuff. Sometimes people get very uncomfortable knowing that people are lurking, let's say, right? Like they're watching all their stories, but they're not talking to them. They're not reacting, or they're liking all their pictures, but they never interact with them. I feel like sometimes if you're kind of just like this shadow follower where you just do things in the background, but there's no communication with that person, it can make them sometimes feel uncomfortable, and that can probably lead to them blocking you. But like I said, guys, first point there is don't assume that you are going to get with the girl that you like by being her best friend. It's not a good strategy. It's a losing strategy. And I speak as someone who's lost with that strategy. So I would highly recommend not doing that. Okay, cool. Let's get to the next point here, guys. This is the second thing that every guy in the friend zone needs to know. And if you're a girl in the friend zone, this counts for you too. Your time is going to be much better spent pursuing other people. I know this sounds counterproductive. You like this person. You want to be with them. Why would you pursue other people? But as I've said in past videos, and my point on it basically is this. It's that when you choose to follow and pursue only one person, you are definitely choosing to limit your options, right? Let's think about that. You're limiting your options because you're only allowing yourself to think romantically about one person, flirt with one person, get to know one person, build your ups and downs on that one person. But if you tell yourself, you know what, I have a crush on this girl, but I have a crush on that girl, and I have a crush on that girl, I'm going to try talking to all of them, getting to know all of them better. By doing that, you're going to decrease the chances of you getting friend zoned, because girls are going to see that, wow, he's friends with a lot of girls. He's very sociable. People like him. You're going to start practicing your skills. You're going to get better at flirting. You're going to get better at talking to girls naturally. And I think ultimately, a Josh Speaks Discord specialty. I know I lurk like crazy in the Discord, so maybe I'm a hypocrite there. By doing that, you're really going to kind of diversify your skill set and who you talk to, right? I also wrote here, when you focus in on only one crush, you're limiting your ability to practice talking to, flirting with, and getting to know other people. It's like trying to win a game of poker with a specific hand rather than looking at what cards are on the table. So think about it like this, guys. Let's say you're playing a game of poker or any kind of card game, and you tell yourself, okay, I have an ace and I have a king, and I'm not going to play my hand until I get a full, a flush? I don't really know poker terms. A flush, full house, whatever it is. Ace, king, queen, 10, whatever it is. I know, I feel very sleepy. It's really hot in this room. So you tell yourself, I have 2 cards out of 5 cards in my hand. I'm not going to play my cards until I have the hand that I want. Well, guess what? You're never going to win at poker, right? You need to be able to play with the different hands that you're dealt. You need to be able to say, I'm going to sacrifice this card and focus on this card. If you're going to stick to the idea of a winning hand, you're going to lose every game until you eventually win that hand, which may never happen. So it's much, much better to play the cards that are on the table, to tell yourself, you know what, I have a crush on this girl and maybe things aren't going so well with her. Let me focus on someone else. Maybe that can be good practice for me. It can help me kind of feel more comfortable or more open when I eventually do get around to asking this other crush out. So that's what I think you guys should know. If you're someone that's been in the friend zone before, this is going to be a super important point for you. I think something that everyone should really, really think about, guys. I know Hamish calling me out. We are still waiting for the water ASMR. Is there a date? I mean, I'm super behind on it, guys. I was planning on recording it and I haven't recorded it yet. Hamish called me out, guys. It's true. Just hit 1700 in chess. I'm the new Beth Harmon. That's awesome, Cheesy. Congrats, man. Hey, Haramore, shoot me a DM and we'll talk about it. Get back into the Discord and see what we could do. But that's the point, guys, there. Try to pursue other people if you're someone that's in the friend zone. It's going to help you not feel so bad about being in the friend zone. It's going to help you also increase your chances of eventually dating someone, because you'll have more options and more people you can pursue. All right, let's jump into the second chat poll question, and that's this, guys. I want every single person in the chat to jump in and answer. How many people do you currently like and want to pursue? Do you have just one crush right now that you're talking to? Is there 2 crushes, or is there quite a few? Are there a bunch of people that you want to pursue and ask out, or do you find yourself just fixated on one person and one person only? I know back in the day when I was younger, I had lots and lots of crushes, but I wouldn't say I was pursuing lots and lots of people. I liked people from afar. I liked people in a way that I was just maybe a little too worried or nervous about asking them out. But jump into the chat poll and answer that, guys, while I jump in here and answer Azim's question. Azim said, why is it that when you pursue multiple people, you're perceived as a player, or is oneitis really an enemy? Or does it just mean you love one person too much? Yeah, I mean, look, people feel like, there's the thing here. If you're pursuing multiple people, I wouldn't consider you a player. What I would consider you a player, I'd consider you a player if you are dating multiple people and you're not being honest about that, right? So like you're dating a girl here, but she doesn't know you're dating another girl. Here, I'll pull up the chat poll so you guys can see it again. So if the girl doesn't know, if the girls don't know that you're dating other girls, or you're lying, or you're kind of, not telling everyone the truth, not everyone's on the same page, that probably will make you a player. If you are someone that's still just not exclusive with anyone and you're just trying to get to know people better, there's nothing wrong with that, I would say. But is oneitis bad? I think oneitis can be bad. And the reason why oneitis can be bad is simply because what you're doing is you are allowing your world to kind of be centered around this one person. And there's no situation where you should allow that to happen, right? Because if your life ends up becoming centered around this one person, you're going to miss out on lots and lots of opportunities with other people along the way. You're gonna feel like, like, hey, this person talked to me today, it was a good day. Oh, they ignored me today, it was a bad day. Oh, this person flirted with me, do they like me? Oh, this person told me they just see me as a friend, they don't like me. Your ups and your downs are going to be completely controlled by that person, and that's not a good life to live. So I always encourage people to step outside of their oneitis and to pursue other people. Sure, some people may brand you as a player just for the simple fact, but I feel like it's much better to get branded as a player than it is to kind of suffer under a system where you have oneitis. Looking at what you guys are saying, how many people do you currently like and want to pursue? Thank you again, Azim, for the $5 super chat. Most people here said 2 people. So most people have 2 crushes that they like and want to pursue. About 50% there. And about 25% said just one. 25% said quite a few. So I'm curious, guys. I'll jump into the chat here just for a little bit here. I want to hear what you guys have to say. More votes are coming in. Keep on voting if you guys haven't already voted yet. And if you haven't already hit the thumbs up on this video, obviously. But hydrate. Oh, the little water glasses. It's funny how it doesn't show the emojis here on the thing here. Okay, let's jump back in here. I'm curious, guys. For those of you that have multiple crushes, for those of you that have 2 or 1, tell me, what are you doing right now? Are you pursuing them? Are you talking to them? Are you trying to get to know them better? Where do you kind of stand right now with those crushes that you're trying to get to know? Curious to hear what you guys have to say. Let's see. Judah Ronda says, hi, Josh. Yesterday I told Desiree, the girl I like now, I'm getting over Paloma and I like someone in the class, but she doesn't know she's the one I like. How can I show her I like her? Oh, interesting. Okay. Sorry. So, you want to tell Desiree that you like her, and you're going to tell her that you're kind of moving past Paloma now. Well, I think the way that you kind of bring Desiree on board is definitely, I would say, by flirting with her, right? So you're going to tell her that you're no longer pursuing Paloma. She's going to probably ask, sorry, I shouldn't have eaten right before the stream. She's going to ask you, oh, is there anyone else that you like? Or are you going to take a break from dating? She's going to probably ask you that question. And I think what you can tell her is, right now I'm just trying to get to know people better and stuff. And I feel like I'm going to keep an open mind. I would say that's a good thing to say at the start. What you do want to do is start talking to her more. Start talking to Desiree more and ask her about her life and what the things she likes to do and get to know her better. That's going to help start to set you up for potentially asking her out. But I think in that initial step, you want to just let her know, hey, I'm open, just trying to play my cards, see what's going on, right? Because if you tell her right off the bat, hey, I no longer like Paloma, I like you, it might kind of catch her off guard, like maybe you haven't done enough prep to get her ready for you to ask her out. So you want to kind of get her to feel more comfortable with you before you actually kind of put it out there. And look, maybe if you feel like you're close enough with her, go for it then and ask her out then and there. But I think usually that build up to it tends to work better, in my opinion. But that's what I would say. Let's answer a few more questions on here. Let's see. Jonathan Pachok says, what do you think it means if my crush already said she doesn't like me, but her and her friends stare at me during band class? That's a good point. So if your crush says she doesn't like you, but she's staring at you in band class, it's hard to say, right? Because sometimes when people stare at us, we don't really know why they're doing it. We can come up with a million reasons why, but we don't really know why. And I think the way that you can start to really know why is try talking to your crush again. Even though she said she doesn't like you, try joking with her and flirting with her and see if she still continues to look at you. If she does, then it's possible she does like you. If she doesn't, then it might mean that she is catching on to, oh, I'm sending the wrong signals. I don't want to keep staring at him. But I would say that keep talking to her and see if she maintains that level of behavior. Azim says, I have a coworker I kind of like who's divorced and has a kid, but I saw her Facebook and can't tell if she's still with her ex-husband because her status says, her status says still married. I don't really know what to do here. So you have a coworker you like who's divorced and has a kid. Yeah, look, here's where it gets tricky. sometimes people don't update their Facebook statuses. She might not want to change her married status to divorce because people might start asking her questions. She might start getting messages. Sometimes people just want to avoid the public backlash and the public questioning. So that might be why. But if you know that she's divorced and you know that she's no longer with her husband and you know that she's, I guess, for all intents and purposes, single, then I think it's okay to start talking to her. I would say that if you are going to talk to her about relationship stuff, maybe instead of saying, hey, are you single or are you divorced, instead of kind of bluntly kind of asking her, ask her, be like, so when's the last time you went on a date after you got divorced? And that is now you're implying. This is kind of like the question trick. Say, when was the last time you went on a date after your divorce? She's going to either say, I haven't gone on a date, I'm not divorced yet, or, I've been on a date once or twice. You're going to get an answer, indirectly. So I think that might be a good way to approach that. All right, let's get to point number 3 here, guys, and that's going to be this. Boom. Don't assume you've done everything right and they should like you. Nick, this was the one I was kind of referring to before when I was saying this is kind of the point here. Alex Prince says, I got skip. I'm not sure, Alex. Do you mean that the video skipped for you or so? I'm not quite sure. So don't assume you've done everything right and they should like you, right? A lot of times we feel like, oh man, I did everything. I was the best friend. I was so kind for her. I would talk to her. I would listen to her. I would listen to her vent. Why doesn't she like me? I've done everything that's right and she still doesn't like me, and that's not fair. It's very easy to come to this conclusion that it's not fair and it's not right because the person isn't acting the way that we want them to act, right? That's essentially what it is. They're not doing what we want them to do. So look, as I said here, it can be frustrating when you invest time into someone only to get burned. Guys, it's incredibly frustrating to deal with. There's no amount of action that will 100% convince someone to like you back. The best you can do is work on presenting a you that you're confident about. And this is what I honestly believe, guys, that a lot of times it's like we hope that people will like us, right? We do all that we can to gain their attention and their focus and their, just their perspective on how they feel about us, right? We want them to value us and like us. And then if they don't, we just kind of feel like, damn, that sucks. Like it hurts. It hurts to know that I've tried everything I can and this person still doesn't like me. But don't make that assumption that they should. We're all different people. We all have different experiences. We all have different interests. And sometimes that person's interest and what they're looking for in a partner might not align with yours. So even if you feel like you've done everything right, there's no guarantee that it's going to work out. L4 and No says, Josh, what happens is if the two people you like hate each other? If the two people you like hate each other, oh my God. Sorry. That's a tough one because you may feel conflicted about being around either one of them when the other person's there. It's a challenging situation, but confidence is my weak point. Yeah, I hear you on that. It's difficult to be confident sometimes, especially when you feel unsure about where things are, how things are going. I think that the way you can kind of learn to be more confident in yourself and start to believe in yourself more ultimately is essentially by really diving deep and discovering who you are. The more you can learn about your hobbies and your interests and just like what makes you happy, the easier it'll be to start to convey that more and more in conversations. And the more you can talk about the things that matter to you, the more confident you're going to be in yourself. And I feel like that's where confidence needs to begin. It needs to begin at the self. It needs to begin at feeling like, you know what? I feel proud of myself for what I do. I feel happy about the things I bring to the table. My worth is not tied to someone else's perspective of me. My worth is tied to what I think about me. And I think that's the key there. But my name is below him. I must have missed your question, Alex. I apologize. Looking through here, guys. Yeah, I'm just reading through the chat. So if you guys have questions, if you have comments as we're walking through these points, feel free to jump into the chat and share them, guys. I want to jump into the next chat poll here, guys, and get your guys' perspective on this. Let's pull up the chat poll. Let's see. Because I've made this mistake so many times, just assuming that this girl should like me because I've done everything right. Why wouldn't she like me? It doesn't make sense. Let's get a chat poll going here. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Next question is this. Have you ever gotten angry at your crush for not liking you back? You can write yes, no, or maybe in the chat. in the voting in the poll there. Uh-oh. Don't tell me it's lagging. Oh no, it looks like it's fine. The little thing went red for a second. But jump into the chat poll here, guys, and let me know what you guys think. Have you ever been in a situation where you got upset with your crush because they didn't like you back? My simple answer is yes. In fact, I'm gonna vote yes in the poll here, guys, because I've been there before. I've gotten angry at my crush. I've gotten angry at my crush before plenty of times. I remember back when I was in high school, the girl that I liked ended up liking my best friend. And it just pissed me off. It got me so angry because I felt like, what are you talking about? I've done everything to talk to you, and I walk you to class, and I do all these things to gain your affection, and you like him. So it just got me angry. And I think a lot of times we feel entitled. We feel like this person owes it to us to date us. I've done everything right. You should date me. And it's like, that's not being respectful or understanding of where they are coming from. And that's the most important piece. It's like, you're never going to get with someone unless you're willing to be understanding of where they're coming from, right? Like, you can't guilt someone into dating you. You can't force someone into dating you. You need to kind of be on the same page and understand each other. You know, looking at the chat bowl here, most of you guys are saying no. Some of you saying yes. Some of you are saying maybe. I'm curious to hear what you guys does anyone here have a story or something they want to share? Jump into the chat and share it. And I feel like it'll be helpful for anyone that's watching. Let's see. Prince RG says random videos. She might be attracted to. Random videos. Oh, he's responding to. She might be attracted to you. Who knows if you like her? You might as well take your shot. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That is a wonderful Wayne Gretzky and Michael Scott quote, I have to say. But yeah, most of you guys are saying no, you never got angry, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing you never got angry. Sometimes people feel entitled and they do get angry because this person doesn't feel the way you want them to feel. So it's important to work through those feelings and to figure out how you want to pursue things going forward. Carter Gordon says, it pisses me off when she doesn't even try to talk to me. If she did like me, maybe. Yeah, Carter, I hear you on that. It pisses you off when she doesn't try to talk to you, right? You might feel like, well, why is she ignoring me? Why is she not responding to my messages? What am I doing wrong, right? We always take this, I think, this approach from, you know, like what's going wrong here? But sometimes it's not a matter of things going wrong. Sometimes it's just a matter of they just don't feel that same way. No matter how much you try, it's just not something they're going to get on board with. And that's okay. The poll is kind of leveling out here. 44% still say no, but a big majority say yes, and some even say maybe. So, like I said, guys, don't assume that you're doing everything right and therefore you're entitled to date this person, because that's not going to work out. Now, before I get into the fourth point here, guys, I want to mention a few things here. So, some of you guys saw that I posted on Instagram that I'm doing coaching, right? I'm looking for 3 coaching clients, 3 people that I can work with over a 3-month period to really help grow your confidence and really help you kind of develop that deeper sense of confidence you're looking for. So if you're someone that is interested in that, message me on Instagram and I'm going to walk you through my program and stuff. If you're someone that's under the age of 18, bring your parent in on the conversation, because that's an important piece. If you're someone that's over 18 and you feel like you want to pay for the program and take it yourself, we'll talk about that too. But if you do want to just chat with me, I know a lot of you guys want to just kind of, you have questions on your mind, you want to just meet with me for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour every single month. You can do that by becoming a Patreon member, right? If you go to thejoshspeaks.com/Patreon, or patreon.com/thejoshspeaks, if you go there, you can see the different tier levels I have for video chatting, one-on-one video chatting with me to kind of coach you through what you're going through in your life. There's different levels in there. I meet with a bunch of you guys every single month. So there's a few of you in here right now that I meet with. Hamish is one of them. Azim is one of them. Let's see, who else is in here as Patreon? I saw Stuart was in here as well. There's a bunch of you guys in here that are Patreon members. So like I said, if you're interested in working with me one-on-one, you want to get my perspective on something, you want to meet monthly to kind of walk through a goal that you have, the best thing you can do is to become a Patreon member. I think it'll be the best thing that can be super helpful for you in getting my one-on-one attention and time to get you through what you're working on. So that's what I want to recommend. I also want to recommend our Discord channel, guys. Discord is something I'm going to be promoting a lot more often because I really, really want to grow it. I feel like we have an awesome community there. If you go to the joshspeaks.com/discord, you can see our awesome board in there. And what's cool about our awesome board there is that it's broken up into different chats and conversations, right? We have a dating section, a school section, a motivational section. You can talk about LGBTQ issues. You can talk about comic books. Really there's a lot of fun conversations going on that you can definitely be a part of. If you're someone that's struggling with making friends, if you're someone that's struggling with getting advice or just sharing your experience, having someone to talk about what's going on in your life with, join our Discord. It's a free and open community for everyone. Everyone is welcomed. And I'd love to have you as a member in there, guys. I jump in there from time to time and jump in and talk to you guys as well. So I think it'd be a great place for you to kind of just meet like-minded people that are working on being their best selves. Now, Alex Burns mentioned also, I want to mention it too. He mentioned our Instagram after party, guys. After this live stream ends, I go live over on Instagram for the after party. Basically, it's another live stream where I bring you guys on to video chat with me. So if you want to just jump on for a minute or two, ask a question, talk about what's going on in your life, join the Instagram after party. It's a lot of fun. And if you follow me over on Instagram, you'll see some of the cool motivational stuff I'm posting. Lots of daily goals. I post mindfulness questions to you guys. I share what's going on in my life and what I'm doing. So definitely follow me over on Instagram at the Josh Speaks if you want to learn more and you want to join our after party right after this live stream, guys. Cool. All right, let's answer one more question before I jump in and to point number 4. Let's pull this back up here. Alex Burns says, I wish I have dead parents just like Harry Potter. Why is that, Alex? Why do you have that wish? Do you feel like your parents don't understand you, or is it hard for them to kind of connect with you in some kind of way? All right, let's answer more questions here. Anthony says, if you join the Discord, it's an awesome place that welcomes everyone. Absolutely, Anthony. Great point. Haramore says, Josh, my girlfriend hardly talks to me anymore, and I just wanted to know if you know how to open up with each other so our relationship doesn't fall and we don't ghost each other. Yeah, Anthony, that's a really, really good point. Here's the thing. Sometimes relationships can kind of become dry. Conversations can maybe get boring. Maybe you might feel like you guys don't really connect as much anymore. Maybe you don't know what to talk about. I think if you want to revive those conversations, if you want to have a situation where you're, the girl that you're with can feel like you guys are open with each other and there's open communication, the best way to do that is to start being more vulnerable, right? To start expressing to her how you feel. So, for example, if you guys haven't talked in a while and you feel kind of bummed out about that, it's important to express that, to say something like, I really value our conversations and I love talking to you and I wish we can talk more. What can we do to make that happen? What you're doing by saying it like that is you're framing it in a way where the two of you are now going to work together to find a solution. Maybe she's going to say, oh, wow, I didn't know that you like talking to me so much. Or, hey, I've been really busy and I'm sorry that I haven't been able to talk to you. Maybe I can talk to you on the weekends. Maybe I can talk to you after school. Maybe we can talk just a check-in every single day. By opening up the dialogue and asking her, what do you think we can do to work on this? You're letting her know how you feel, and you're also giving her the space to think it through and to share how she feels as well. So I would do that, Anthony. That would be my honest advice about making that relationship work, man. Okay, let's get to point number 4 here, and that's going to be this. Point number 4, just like I said before, don't assume you've done everything wrong. Before I said don't assume you've done everything right, this is don't assume you've done everything wrong and you're simply not dating material. It's so easy to get constantly rejected, to get constantly turned down, to be constantly overlooked by people we like, to assume that we're doing everything wrong. We're too ugly, we're not interesting to talk to, we are boring people. There's a lot of doubt and just negative self-talk that can come about sometimes when you constantly are faced with adversity and challenges. And it's very, very easy to assume when a lot of things go wrong to make the assumption, I am wrong, I am bad. And it's a dangerous place to be in, because what you end up doing is you end up reconfirming any kind of negative experiences you have, right? Judah says, Josh, I love the stream and I got my questions answered. So in my opinion, I got to go now. No problem, Judah. Happy you could jump in, man. I'm happy I could be helpful in some way. But you might start to assume that what's the point of even asking a girl out there just going to reject me? Oh, Azim sent the burning question, guys. Let's jump in and answer that. We just assume, what's the point? Why even bother trying? And it's a dangerous precedent to set. Azim, thank you for the $5 super chat. Azim said, Josh, what are your thoughts on wanting guys to establish a connection with women they meet, but they still have that casual hookup mentality? Yeah, that's an interesting point. Look, choosing to have casual hookups doesn't always conflict with wanting to develop deep connections with people. I know that sounds kind of weird, but every interaction with a person is going to be different. Sometimes you'll interact with someone that maybe you don't really care about having a deep connection. Maybe you just are okay with a casual hookup. And then maybe you'll meet someone else that you want a deep connection and you don't want to just jump into hooking up. I think it's really, you have to ask yourself, what is it that I want with this person? What do I want to explore? But if you want to explore both of those things with that person, it's kind of difficult, right? Let's assume you go into a situation with a casual hookup mentality and you tell yourself, I really want to get to know this girl and I really want to know more about her, but I just kind of want to hook up with her without responsibility. Well, you might be limiting your ability to actually develop a deeper connection because you're not going to foster what you need to grow it. But let's say it's the opposite. Let's say you want to form a connection with someone. Let's say you want to casually hook up with someone, right? But you are just focused on the connection. Well, you might end up getting put in the friend zone because you're building that deep connection, but you're not leading it to anything physical, which is what you want. So I think that they can coincide if you're aiming for the same person, but I think there's nothing wrong with wanting to pursue casual hookups with some people and deeper connections with other. We have that freedom and that ability to make that decision for ourselves. It's not to say one is bad and one is good. It all depends on what you bring forward to the table. And keep in mind, what you bring forward to the table might not align with that person. You might want a casual hookup and they may want to form a deep connection. So if you guys are not in line, then I would say it doesn't make sense to keep pursuing them. I think sometimes people who just want to hook up will keep doing it because they just want to hook up, right? They're very short-sighted in that sense, but you might end up hurting that other person. And I don't think that's worth it. I don't think it's worth manipulating someone so you can get what you want so that they walk away feeling used and like they didn't get what they wanted. You want to kind of really form that joint connection there. So that'd be my perspective there on the casual hookup and connection thing, Azim. Thank you for asking that question. That's a really, really good question, I got to say, because I think that can be super challenging for some people, trying to figure out how to navigate it and what to do. But jumping back into that point, guys, here, it's very easy if you're in the friend zone to assume, man, I get friend zoned by every girl I know. No girl gives me the time of day. No one's willing to talk to me. No one likes me. What's the point? Why even bother? Girls suck. Everyone sucks. It's very easy to fall into that. Like I said here, it's easy to look at a string of failures and assume it's just because you're undeserving of love. It's very easy to feel undeserving of love when others don't pay attention to us, others don't talk to us, others don't give us the time of day. It's very easy to feel that way. We all make mistakes and fumble. So the very best thing you can do is to reflect on what's in your reach for changing and improving. Guys, this is something I truly believe, that all we have control over is our own agency, what we bring to the table, how we choose to act on our feelings. That's what we have control over. We don't have control over anyone else and their decisions. So the best thing you can do if you find yourself constantly getting friend zoned, constantly getting put in a position where no one wants to date you or you're constantly rejected, the best thing you can do is to reflect, to ask yourself, what can I do differently next time? Maybe I didn't flirt enough. Let me try flirting more. Maybe I didn't make my intentions clear from the beginning and she thought I was just a friend. Really reflect and review your own behavior, because that's something you can tweak. That's something you can change. That's something you can really, really work on. So I want you guys to think deeply about that. Think deeply about what you can do to revise that behavior so that you can maybe have a different outcome the next time around. But let's jump into a chat poll here, guys. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. I want every single person watching jump in and answer the question. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. So this is our question here, guys. Has getting rejected ever made you feel unworthy of love? This is an important one, guys. I want every person watching to jump in and answer yes, no, or unsure, if you're unsure. Getting rejected is deeply tied to you feeling loved and valued for who you are. It is. In order for it to not be, it's a matter of taking time taking real time to work on yourself, taking time to understand that someone else's opinion doesn't determine your value or worth. I'm just reading the chat here. 4242, hit the like button. And that's an important piece, guys, because if you've ever been rejected, you might just feel like, damn, like no one likes me. I'm just not a likable person. And that's just not true, right? To be a likable person is something you can always work on. So to make a definitive statement, like it's 100% fact, you are not a likable person, that's just not true. Because being likable is something you can always work on. It's something you can always try to improve, something you can always try to better about yourself. Maybe that's learning how to communicate better. Maybe that's learning how to tell better stories or ask better questions. Maybe that's learning to be more mindful and listen to others when they speak. There's a lot of things you can work on, but don't assume you're doing everything wrong, right? It's like we either feel like there's perfection and then there's failure, but it's not. There's a whole lot of gray space in between, and 99.9% of us fall in that gray space. That gray space of if I had done this differently, maybe I would have had a different outcome. If I were more secure in myself, maybe things wouldn't have turned out the way they did. If I had a deeper sense of confidence, maybe I would be dating that person right now. It's always difficult to kind of put the blame on one specific thing when it's a bunch of things that affect these outcomes, affect our lives, guys. Looking at the chat poll here, 55% says yes, getting rejected has made you feel unworthy of love. Guys, I hear where you're coming from on that. It's really, really tricky. It's easy to fall into that. Carter asked a good question, but doesn't mean we are unworthy of love. Doesn't mean we are unworthy of love. And the true answer to that, Carter, is no. Does not mean that. Just because someone doesn't like you doesn't mean that you don't deserve love, right? We are all deserving of love just by being who we are, right? It's like, and when I say deserving of love, let me explain that a bit, because sometimes people interpret that to be, we all deserve a girlfriend. We all deserve to be in a romantic relationship, but that's not what I mean. When I say we are deserving of love, I mean that you as you are, the person that you are, the beliefs that you have, the ideas that you carry, the experiences that have made you who you are. That's what you bring to the table. And that you is deserving of love. It's almost like saying, are we all deserving of being respected and not insulted, right? No one deserves to be insulted, no, right? We all deserve this baseline of respect in the sense that, hey, listen, I understand you're a person and I'm going to respect that about you. I'm going to talk to you as if you were a person. I'm going to treat you as if you were a person. And I'm going to respect that nature of you. We're deserving of that base level of respect. And when I say we are deserving of love, I mean that there's nothing about us that means that we are incapable or not allowed or should be denied the ability to love someone, right? No one should be denied that. So that's kind of what I mean there. Azim says, is it possible to be too late when revealing intentions or feelings and changing dynamic with a girl? Is it possible to be too late? Yeah, Azim, that's a really good question. I don't know if you've seen in the past, and I think you have, the curve that I made, which was the texting curve. And I feel like there's a friend zone element there that also needs to kind of be deeply looked at. In fact, I'm going to pull it up as I talk here, guys. If you watched my last video, you might have saw something I talked about, the connection spectrum. Now, when I talked about the connection spectrum, basically what I was showing you there was that, as you get to know a person better, they're going to start to determine and decide, is this a person I like? Is this a person I see only as a friend? If you hold back, if you don't allow yourself to kind of be forward, eventually that person may just kind of put you in a certain category in their mind, and they may just determine, okay, this is a person that I can't see beyond that. I can't really see them as anything deeper. And this happens all the time. This happens all the time, guys. Trust me, I see it all the time where you like a girl and you just keep telling yourself, all right, I'm going to wait for the right moment, wait for the right moment, wait for the right moment. And the right moment never comes. And when you feel like it does come, it feels like it's too late, because at that point, now the girl is already kind of moved on or just sees you as a friend. And it's hard to kind of make it into something more. So let me pull it up here, guys. I'm going to load it up for you guys. Oh, where did it get saved to? Where did it get saved? Oh, charts. It's saved as charts. Give me 1 second here. Charts. Okay, cool. There we go. All right. Point number 5 should be showing there, guys. That's the connection spectrum right there. Oh, it's pulling up the wrong one. But not the nervousness thing that was from last week, but the connection spectrum, as I said, you're in the exact center there, right? You're in the center there, and as you get to know your crush better, you're going to either lead towards dating or you're going to lead towards no interaction with them. And if you lead towards dating, that's going to lead you to asking them out. If you lead towards no interaction, it's going to lead towards you moving on. So you're going to fall along that placement. Like I said, 99.9% of people are along the line. They're not at the ends. They're along the line. So if you are along the line there, the best thing you can do is to eventually ask that person out. Otherwise, you're going to kind of miss the opportunity, and you're going to start to move towards no interaction with them. But yeah, Azim, that's kind of addressing that point, I would say. Screen bit rate is low. Hopefully it's not lagging too much for you guys. But I want to jump into point number 5 here, guys. That's going to be this. Okay. Here's the 5th point that I would say for if you're a guy in the friend zone, this is something I think you need to know, and that's this, guys. It's okay to feel bummed out about getting rejected. Try to make peace with it over time. This is an important one. This is my hot take, by the way. I feel like sometimes our society creates this idea that if a girl rejects you, who cares? Move on. There's plenty of other girls out there. Don't even worry about it. Don't even think about it. Our society creates this idea that people are expendable. That if someone doesn't like you, who cares? Forget them, move on to the next one. And I feel like what we're not doing is we're not allowing ourselves times to process how we feel. If you really, really like someone and they turn you down, it sucks. It feels bad. It hurts. It's not a pleasant feeling. But society kind of dictates, who cares? Don't think about it. Move on. And what I would challenge you instead to do is, if you're not feeling good, if you're feeling bad about getting rejected, think about that. Think about why you feel that way. Think about why that person's opinion means that much to you. Or think about, like how you want to kind of move forward with those feelings, right? Sometimes it might just be taking a day or two to yourself. Sometimes people say, you know what? I'm going to go start flirting with someone else. How you choose to process your feelings is up to you. And no one should ever make you feel like it's wrong for feeling sad that someone rejected you. It's totally normal. Like I said here, our culture makes us feel like every girl you pursue is expendable. We're talking about people here. We're not talking about choosing a different flavor of ice cream. We're talking about people. If one fails, ask out the next one without thinking about it first. That's the idea that we say, right? If you feel sad, it's okay to feel the way you do. As you pursue more girls, you'll learn to manage your feelings better, guys. This is something I truly believe too, that, like I said, it's important to process your feelings. With every crush you have, it's important to process your feelings. If it works out, if it doesn't work out. What I want you to also do is, and recognize is that as you progress, as you talk to more of your crushes, as you pursue more people, you'll start to get better at managing your feelings. This is what I talk about too, which is really building up that level of confidence by recognizing that the more practice you have in doing something, the easier it is for you to kind of roll with the punches or to figure it out or to manage those feelings. So if you ask someone out and they say no, okay, it might feel bad. Then you tell yourself, you know what? I understand how I feel. I'm ready to move forward and pursue other people. So move forward and pursue other people. And if you get rejected there, you now have experience from the last one and how to deal with it. The more you kind of go through that, the less worried you're going to be about getting rejected. The less worried. The more you're going to be focused on the learning experience in doing it. And I feel like that's the key takeaway. Like I said, it's like you'll see a lot of, especially on YouTube, there's a lot of this idea, this push of like, bro, if a girl rejects you, who cares? Who cares? And I think that the piece that they're missing when they share that message is process your feelings. It's okay to talk about how you feel. If you really like this girl and she turned you down, it's okay to talk to a friend about that and say, man, I'm kind of bummed out. You know, instead of burying your feelings deep down, like I think a lot of dating people talk about. Oh, just who cares? Forget about it. What we're telling you is to suppress those feelings. And I'm saying be open about them. And the more you're open about them, the more you practice, the less you're going to feel that deep hurt feeling as time goes on. You're going to get better at managing those feelings. It's going to be a lot less fearful of you. That'd be my perspective on it. I think I have a differing perspective than a lot of other people in this that make dating videos and stuff. And on this dating topic specifically, that's just my perspective. But I want to hear what you guys have to say. Music Man, good to have you, man. And I'll catch you next time, dude. Let's see. Rage Master says, both being friend zoned and getting rejected are worse than being single. But I think getting rejected is a lot worse than being single. Interesting point. Yeah, I think that, they both kind of suck, right? In a way, in their own way. But getting rejected can kind of sting more because you are vulnerable. You put yourself out there. And being vulnerable is a scary thing to do because you're giving someone else the opportunity to influence you and affect you in that moment. So, all right, let's get a chat poll going here. This is the 5th chat poll, last one we're doing here for the live stream. And let's see, Alex Prince says, I just done it for 6 years. No one pulled me through like that. Nobody understands me, what I'm going through. That's hard for me, Josh. Alex Prince, I hear where you're coming from, man. Yeah, and we've talked in the past, and I understand that you're dealing with a lot. You have a lot on your plate, man. And it's hard sometimes because you may feel like no one understands you. And I think that's why you connect with the Simple Plan song so much. Because, it's tough. And I understand where you're coming from, man. And I'm sorry to hear you're dealing with a lot. And I hope that being a part of our community can be helpful. I hope these live streams can be uplifting and can inspire you to feel like you matter, because I believe you matter. And I think what you bring to the table is so important, Alex. And I'm happy you're part of this community. All right. This is the chat poll question here, guys. Have you ever thought about giving up on pursuing a partner? The reason I said pursuing a partner rather than a girl or guy is because you may want to pursue either or if you want. So finding a partner might mean having a girlfriend, or it might mean casually dating someone, whatever it may be. Have you ever dealt with so much hardship that you just thought, why even bother? I'm going to give up. I'm going to take the black pill and just cancel everything. I'm going to I'm going to follow the principles of men going their own way, MGTOW, and I'm going to just give up on dating. I think sometimes we can fall in that place because, we just feel so hurt and so angry and so unlovable, and it's easy to fall into that place. If you haven't already, jump in, answer the chat poll question, guys. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. I'd love to, if you also want to jump into the chat and share your perspective, feel free to do that. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Jalen says, hi, Josh. Why would she unblock me if she doesn't talk to me? That's a really, really good question, Jalen. I know that, you've had a lot of back and forth with your crush and, she unblocked you, but she doesn't talk to you. It's possible she unblocked you because she felt bad. Oh, I don't want to block him and be rude. But if she's not responding to your messages, if she doesn't respond to the comments you post or anything like that, there's no engagement there. She might just kind of be okay with you following her, but doesn't really want to talk deeply about it. Harmar says, Josh, your thoughts on the black pill ideology? Yeah, good point, man. I did a video kind of breaking down my nose is so itchy. I did a video breaking down my thoughts on the black pill ideology. I think that as I learn more and more about where people who, I guess, follow along with the black pill ideology come from, I feel like it leads in a few different directions. One direction seems to be this kind of acknowledgement of the fact that statistically, if you're shorter, if you're not good looking, if you're not successful, if you don't have money, if you don't have these things, dating is going to be harder for you. There are people who hear that information or even experience it firsthand and feel like that sucks. I'm going to focus on other elements of my life and try to just not really prioritize dating so I don't feel hurt by it. There's people who do that in the black pill community. But there's also people in the black pill community who are so burned, who are so hurt, are so scorned by others that they are just resentful and bitter, and they fall into patterns of misogyny. All women are this, all women are that. I hate women. Women suck. They get very jealous of guys who have successful women. He's a Chad, he's this, he's that. And I think that if you're someone that is identifying with the black pill community, ask yourself, am I also falling into these misogynistic beliefs? And if I am, maybe this isn't the right community that's going to help lift me out. Maybe it's the type of community that's going to help drag me down. This is an important thing too, guys. communities by default are not good or bad. This is important to know. You can have communities that are good and positive, like communities that want to help you succeed or get a job or find a new place to live or to just help you share. Those are good communities. You can also have bad communities where people are toxic, people are angry, people are bitter and resentful, and they want to bring people down because they don't want to see anyone else succeed because they're struggling. So those communities can be super negative. And I feel like within the black pill kind of ideology, there exist some of those type of communities. And that makes me fearful of telling people, read into black pill, search for it, because I would rather them look at the data and try to talk through the data than join this ideology, which can potentially lead them on a misogynistic path. That's my fear. That's why I don't encourage people to pursue that, because I don't think it's separate enough in order for people to say, let me get a better understanding of how things work and try to figure out what works for me. I have a lot of thoughts, and I'm planning on doing a follow-up to my black pill video soon, because now I feel like I've engaged in more conversations that I can share some other perspective on it. But thank you for asking that, Hara Moore. All right, let's look at the chat poll here, guys. Let's see what we got. Have you ever thought about giving up on pursuing a partner? 60% said yes, 35% said no. So majority of you guys have felt just about the idea of giving up on dating because things weren't working out. I understand where you're coming from. It's a challenging thing. But like I said, try your best to really think about the things you can improve. Think about the things you can work on. That's going to be the big takeaway there. Guys, I want to walk you through these 5 points once again. So if you haven't already hit the thumbs up on this video, we're at 51 likes. Let's see if we can get this to 55 likes by the end of the stream. Azim says, I do think cold approaching can train you to beat rejection, but when it comes to a long-time crush who turns you down, that's when rejection really hits hard despite facing many rejections. Azim, I think you nailed it on the head there. Well, when you're cold approaching a stranger. You don't know anything about this person, so if they turn you down, it's just like, that sucks, move on. It's easier. But when it's someone you've invested time into, when it's someone that you've liked for years, that's when it gets real hard, man. It gets real hard to figure out how to move on from that person. So I understand where you're coming from there. It's not an easy thing to do. It's a very difficult thing at times too. Harmore says, the ideology pretty much says you got to be a Chad to get the Stacy, but really it's not that. You can go out and get other people, maybe a Megan. They exist. There's way more than Stacy's. I agree too. I think that we overestimate the amount of attractive people that exist. It's like the amount of attractive people is a small percentage. And the idea is that the small percentage ends up getting the majority of the girls. And in some instances that may be true, but that doesn't mean that you should. It's like saying the statistics may not work in my favor, but that doesn't mean that they prevent me from going forward. I look tired. Yeah, right? I always have these bags. I feel kind of tired. It's super hot in this room, and I feel kind of like it's making me like, ugh. So I think I'm probably talking a little bit tired, but I feel energetic on the inside. Just I feel on the outside kind of tired, kind of relaxed. But let's walk through these 5 points, guys, here. What's with the names? Yeah, the names are just kind of like stereotypes of names. I'm not sure what a Megan. Do you mean like a Becky? Or is a Megan considered different from a Becky in the Black Pill community? Let's walk through these 5 points again, guys. Pull it up. All right. I told you guys, these are 5 things every guy in the friend zone needs to know. If you've ever been in the friend zone, if you're afraid you're going to one day be in it, listen up. These are 5 things I think you need to know. Number 1 here, guys. Can you tell us a personal experience of yours? Do you still do stories on Fridays? Do stories on Fridays? What do you mean by stories? And yeah, Forrest, but I'll share any kind of personal experiences. I've done lots of videos about things in my life and what I've gone through and my experiences have been. Oh, stories, you mean like my Instagram posts and stuff? Yeah, I mean, I used to do them every Friday. I'm going to try to keep up with that. But yeah, I'll definitely try to do that more. Okay, these are 5 things every guy in the friend zone needs to know. Number 1, you're not going to win her over by being her best friend. If you think, let me just play the slow card and just be her best friend and maybe she'll change her mind and actually like me, I don't think it's going to work. What ends up actually happening is you dig yourself deeper into the friend zone and you show that person that the only thing they can see you as is a friend. And if that's all they see you as, well, then it's going to be way harder for you to break out of it and ask them out. So in order to prevent yourself from just getting labeled as that friend in the friend zone, start to show them how you feel. Let them see that you like them by asking them out, by flirting with them, by building that up with them. Number 2, your time is going to be much better spent pursuing other people. If you are only focused on one crush and you have oneitis, like Azim said, it's going to be easy for you guys. It's going to be easy for you to kind of, like your emotions are going to be so tied to that person. It's going to be hard for you to break out of it and to tell yourself, you know what? If they don't like me, that's okay. By pursuing multiple people, you make it easier to deal with rejection. You make it easier to not be so hung up if that person doesn't like you. So what I would highly recommend is doing that, is letting that person see you talk to other people. Let that person know that you are a highly in-demand person. Pursue other crushes. Don't limit yourself to just one person. The more you pursue other crushes, the more you're going to practice those skills and get better at it. Number 3, don't assume you've done everything right and they should like you. It's very easy to feel like, you've done everything right and you've been the best guy ever. You've been the best friend. Why can't this girl like me? It's very easy to fall into that resentful stage. In order to prevent yourself from falling into that resentful stage, you need to recognize that everyone makes a decision for themselves. That person may not like you. That person may not feel the same way about you that you do about them. So you need to be respectful of their choices. And just because you've invested time, just because you've done everything you can to be a good person to them, doesn't mean that they have to go out with you. You have to recognize that. Otherwise, you're going to always get upset. You're going to get placed in the friend zone. It's going to tear you apart on the inside. Number 4 is this. Don't assume you've done everything wrong and you're simply not dating material. This happens as well. You get rejected so much, you start to feel like you're just unlovable. No one's going to like me. Everyone rejects me. I'm too ugly. I'm too short. I'm too awkward. I'm too whatever. And you just assume that no one's going to want to date you. You just start to jump right into that negative mind state where you've given up. And I don't think you should give up. I think you should keep trying. You should see what you can tweak, see what you can improve, and bring that forward. Remember what I said. What you have control over is your own experience and what you bring to the table. So if you feel like you keep getting rejected, maybe that's a matter of changing how you start the conversation. Maybe it's a matter of when you ask them out. Think about the small things you can improve, and that's going to help you take those small steps. Number 5 is this, guys. Number 5. It's okay to feel bummed out about getting rejected. Try to make peace with it over time. This is an important one, guys. Look, don't feel like you need to hide your feelings or mask them or suppress them just because people around you tell you to. It's okay to feel what you're feeling. If you feel happy, if you feel sad, if you feel neglected, if you feel hurt, feelings are mentionable and manageable. They shouldn't be suppressed. They shouldn't be ignored. And if you feel deeply hurt because the person you liked didn't like you back, it's okay. It's okay to feel that way. The best thing that you can do in those situations, the very, very best thing you can do, is to talk about your feelings, to share them with someone that you trust and someone that you care about. And I think that the more you can share your feelings and the more you can process what you're going through, the easier it's going to be to deal with those feelings over time. You're going to start to hang on to that hurt less and less because you'll have experience dealing with it. You'll be able to say, you know what? The last person who rejected me, I took a few days to myself, but now I feel a little bit better. Now I feel like I can recover in a day or two. You're going to start to build up your tolerance for dealing with hardships. And I feel like that's one of the most important things anyone in the friendship could ever know. And with that, guys, I lead us to our mindful moment. This is my favorite part of the stream because it allows us to kind of reflect, to think about what we've experienced, to think about what we've talked about, and to kind of really think deeply about ourselves in a way. I got my bell right here. What I want us all to do is for the next 30 seconds or so, let's take a deep breath. And what I want you to do is, if you can, if you're sitting by yourself, go for it. If you're around people and you think it's going to be awkward, you don't have to, but if you can, close your eyes. I want you guys to close your eyes, and I want you to think deeply about yourself and the challenges you faced, the hardships you encounter. Think deeply about that time you got rejected, or the time it was hard for you to make friends, or the time you just felt misunderstood by others. Those are hurt states to be in. It's hard. And what I want you to do is to recognize that despite all of that, despite your challenges, despite that, you are still a person who brings value to this world. You're still someone that matters. You're still lovable just the way you are, just by your being you. So, yes, you may be in the friend zone. Yes, dating may be tough, but everything is small steps. And I think that together we can work on the challenges you have. And we can get you to a place where you feel happy, secure, and proud of who you are. So let's take 10 seconds. We'll close our eyes and listen to the sound of the bell. Let's warm up the bell. Let's take a deep breath and reflect on that thought. Cole Frazen said, I don't know why I'm here. Cole, many of us don't know why we're here. It's a journey. It's a process of figuring that out. And somehow you stumbled onto this live stream during our mindful moment. And I hope that moment was helpful for you, but I hope you stick around. And I hope that you find what you're looking for. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of this live stream. I truly appreciate every single one of you guys. I love our conversations. I'm so grateful for you guys on all the feedback you give. Thank you for being a part of the stream. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up. But I'm going to go live now over on Instagram. So make sure to follow me over there at The Josh Speaks. This is going to be our Instagram after party. You're all invited, all of you. And if you want to jump on a video chat with me, hit the little request button when you join on Instagram. Follow me over there. Thank you guys for being a part of this live stream, and I will catch you guys next time. As always, love and peace. See you guys over on Insta.